The moment Colin Jost looked straight into that Weekend Update camera and dropped Meghan Markle's name with absolutely zero hesitation, something inside the royal media machine visibly cracked, not quietly, not subtly, cracked loudly on live American television while millions watched in real time. Because this was no longer the era where Hollywood comedians tiptoed carefully around Harry and Meghan as untouchable media royalty. No, this felt colder, sharper, almost coordinated. And the most explosive part? The audience didn't gasp in discomfort. They exploded in laughter. The kind of laughter that tells you the public mood has already shifted before the headlines even catch up.
This is SNL Saturday Night Live actually in America. Not this new UK version, but the American version on Weekend Update has gone for her again. And this was the most savage tick yet. I mean, they actually call her a tick. Watch this.
Yeah.
Okay. King Charles visited the U.S. to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence from Britain and to seek the release of a British hostage being held by an American
I tried so hard. Did you like it?
I'm almost speechless.
Oh man, it's so funny, Dan. It's so funny.
Saturday Night Live once again slams Meghan Markle as she is spiraling after burning all of the bridges.
Saturday night. Studio 8H glowing under harsh NBC lights. Colin Jost sitting there with that dangerously calm expression, reading lines that clearly survived multiple legal reviews, network approvals, executive discussions, and writer room debates. That's what makes this so unsettling. People keep pretending Snell jokes are random. They are not random. Every sentence is inspected before airtime. Every image approved. Every punchline weighed for backlash risk. Yet somehow, NBC still allowed Meghan Markle to become the centerpiece of a brutal national punchline. Not hidden behind vague wording, directly targeted. And the second Harry and Meghan's image flashed behind him, the crowd erupted so hard Jost himself nearly lost composure. That tiny half smile on his face lasted less than a second, but viewers caught it instantly, because even he looked surprised at how aggressively the audience reacted. And then came the real explosion, not inside the studio, online. Within hours, clips flooded X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, everywhere. Suddenly, the same couple once protected by celebrity media circles became the center of non-stop mockery loops spreading internationally at algorithm speed. Page 6 grabbed it. Sky News Australia amplified it. GB News dissected it frame by frame. Royal commentary channels treated it like a cultural turning point. And behind all of that sat one uncomfortable question nobody could ignore anymore. Why does mainstream comedy suddenly feel so comfortable humiliating Harry and Meghan publicly?
Markle is once again getting trolled. Oh, poor Meghan, the most trolled person in the entire world. The hatred for Meghan is all over the place. She has burned way too many bridges, so it doesn't surprise me at all. And hence why we're getting jokes like this, because she's become the joke. Meghan Markle is completely a joke at this point.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
Yeah, everyone wants to.
Because this did not start in 2026. That's the detail most people miss. The pattern stretches backward for years like invisible threads slowly tightening around the Sussex narrative. Every joke, every sketch, every sarcastic reference stacking together until the framing became impossible to separate from public perception itself. What looked like isolated comedy moments were actually building a larger cultural storyline in plain sight. Go back exactly 1 year earlier. Same Weekend Update desk. Same Colin Jost delivery, same audience reaction. Only this time it's tied to Trump's UK trade deal announcement. The setup looks political at first, then suddenly Harry and Meghan appear again on screen like recurring characters in a sitcom nobody can escape anymore. The crowd immediately loses control laughing. Jost nearly breaks character, and the implication behind the joke hits harder than the line itself. Harry and Meghan are no longer framed as glamorous global icons. They're framed as international baggage floating awkwardly between America and Britain while both countries quietly side-eye the situation.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits, which will be set in Los Angeles. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant. President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
Donald Trump has had enough of them. He's privately savaged Prince Harry during King Charles's visit to America. Trump remarked to a British visitor when the conversation turned to Harry, "Can you take him back?" Everyone is fed up with the grifters. I mean, Trump has clearly had enough of the woe is me, ginger and whinger.
Did you like it?
I'm gonna come.
That timing mattered. Harry was publicly discussing reconciliation efforts. Meghan was pushing new projects. Yet instead of sympathy, the joke landed with effortless audience recognition. No outrage wave, no serious backlash. That silence said everything. Because years earlier, jokes like this would have triggered online warfare instantly. But now, the crowd laughed naturally, almost instinctively, as if the cultural script around them had already changed permanently. Then the timeline stretches even further back to 2019. Before Oprah, before Spare, before Montecito fatigue fully exploded online, SNL was already planting seeds of royal tension comedy through sketches like Royal Baby Video, Emma Stone hosting, Mikey Day portraying Harry, Cecily Strong sharpening Kate into exaggerated rivalry territory. What looked silly at the time suddenly feels eerie in hindsight because the writers were mocking fractures years before the public narrative completely collapsed. And that's where things become genuinely fascinating. SNL wasn't reacting anymore. It was forecasting tone, building perception early, conditioning audiences through repetition. The jokes survived because they evolved with each scandal cycle. Every year, the framing intensified. Every year, the audience laughed faster.
Irony of her calling Lauren Sanchez trashy, but now quietly realizing, oh crap, I should have befriended her more, is so hilarious to me because Lauren Sanchez, same type of thing, but she bagged someone richer and actually who has power, unlike Harry. Meghan must be so damn jealous of that.
What's up? It's your boy Prince Harry, aka the Ginger of Windsor, aka Redhead Redemption.
Meanwhile, another royal figure was evolving inside the exact same comedy ecosystem, Prince Andrew. But Andrew's satire path became darker, more scandal-focused, almost radioactive. Colin Jost and Michael Shea repeatedly turned Andrew into shorthand for corruption, embarrassment, and institutional decay. The jokes stopped feeling like celebrity comedy and started resembling public ritual humiliation broadcasts nationally. And then came the punchlines that permanently changed the atmosphere. Britain's most eligible bachelor delivered deadpan, ice cold, the audience instantly understanding the implication before the sentence even finished. That's what made these moments so powerful. The jokes required no explanation anymore. The public already carried the context emotionally. By late 2025 and early 2026, Weekend Update wasn't just mocking headlines. It was stitching together a full royal satire universe. Meghan framed through cultural exhaustion and media fatigue. Harry framed as drifting and powerless. Andrew framed as scandal incarnate. Charles lingering symbolically above everything like a silent institution, watching the chaos consume itself publicly. And suddenly, the battlefield expanded, because Britain entered the game too. The launch of SNL UK changed everything. Now there were two comedy systems operating simultaneously across two continents, both targeting the same royal ecosystem from different cultural angles. American satire approached Harry and Meghan through celebrity fatigue and political absurdity. British satire approached Andrew with colder, sharper, almost merciless precision. The result? A mirrored media machine feeding itself continuously. American audiences laughing at Meghan and Harry. British audiences dissecting Andrew. Royal narratives transformed into recurring comedy structures instead of isolated news stories. And once that transformation happens, it becomes terrifyingly difficult to reverse, because repetition rewires perception. What makes this entire situation even more explosive is that the royal family is no longer being treated like untouchable historical symbolism inside entertainment culture. They are now functioning like serialized reality television characters inside a permanent comedy cycle. And the audience knows it. That's why the laughter feels different now. Faster, louder, more automatic. People are no longer reacting to isolated scandals. They're reacting to accumulated years of emotional fatigue, contradictions, interviews, memoirs, lawsuits, leaks, documentaries, photo controversies, and non-stop media warfare. By the time Meghan Markle became the center of that May 2026 Weekend Update punchline, viewers already carried 8 years of narrative buildup in their heads before Colin Jost even opened his mouth. The Wales family photo controversy proved exactly how dangerous this shift shift had become. One edited Christmas card, one internet theory spiral, one image pulled from global agencies. Suddenly, the monarchy wasn't being viewed through the old lens of sacred tradition anymore. It was being processed through meme culture, TikTok dissection, and online suspicion cycles. And Snell understood that instantly. That's why Jost's visual gag landed so violently with the audience. It compressed weeks of internet obsession into one brutal comedic image that detonated within seconds on live television. What's terrifying for the palace is how quickly these moments become permanent. The internet never releases them. Every joke becomes searchable. Every punchline gets clipped, reposted, remixed, and recycled endlessly until it stops being a joke and starts becoming accepted shorthand for public perception itself. That is exactly what happened to Harry and Meghan. At first, they were framed as rebellious modernizers entering an outdated institution. Then came the Oprah era, where sympathy surged globally and the couple briefly regained control of the narrative. But after that, something fractured. The documentaries multiplied. The interviews kept coming. The accusations escalated. The contradictions started piling up publicly. And eventually, audiences stopped treating the story like tragedy and started treating it like spectacle. That is the moment comedy sensed weakness, and comedy always attacks weakness, especially public weakness wrapped in celebrity branding. Snell recognized that shift before traditional media fully admitted it out loud. Suddenly, Meghan and Harry jokes weren't risky anymore. They were reliable applause generators, reliable clicks, reliable reactions, reliable engagement spikes. That changes everything inside a writer's room, because once a topic consistently lands with audiences, the writers keep returning to it harder and harder each season. Meanwhile, Prince Andrew became something even darker inside this ecosystem. Not just satire material, but symbolic shorthand for institutional rot itself. That's why every Andrew joke feels heavier, colder, more dangerous. The humor around him carries tension because audiences know they are laughing at something tied to real allegations, police investigations, and global scandal coverage. Yet Snell kept pushing closer to the edge anyway, and every time they did, the audience still laughed. That's the most chilling pattern of all. Then came SNL UK, and suddenly the entire royal satire machine doubled in power overnight, because now the criticism wasn't coming only from American comedians observing the monarchy from across the ocean. It was emerging directly from inside Britain itself. That changes the emotional impact completely. The jokes feel more personal there, sharper, less filtered, almost like public frustration disguised as dry humor. The opening weekend update line from SNL UK hit audiences like a warning shot. No warm-up, no gentle introduction, just immediate aggressive satire cutting straight into scandal territory. And viewers instantly understood what was happening. The British version was not planning to protect royal sensitivity either. Now, look at the terrifying symmetry forming between both countries. In America, Meghan and Harry are framed through celebrity exhaustion, media overexposure, and cultural displacement humor. In Britain, Andrew becomes the face of darker institutional satire, while the Sussexes orbit around the broader royal commentary ecosystem as recurring side references. Two countries, two comedy systems, one royal family being dissected continuously from every angle. And somewhere underneath all this laughter sits a brutal truth the palace probably never imagined back in 2018. Once public figures become recurring comedy templates, reclaiming dignity becomes exponentially harder because audiences stop separating headlines from punchlines. The satire rewrites memory itself.